Candidate for Attorney General, Andrea Campbell, is nominated by Cheryl Harding and seconded by Carrie Thompson and Tyler Alston Swan.
All she's looking for is a fair shot. He's hoping for a second chance. And all they want to know is that when you're down, you're never counted out. I'm Andrea Campbell, and that's who I'm fighting for. I'm living proof that a girl who grew up in public housing with a family torn apart by crime, incarceration, and poverty, with support from a community that believed in me, could turn pain into purpose, could become a legal services lawyer representing kids in need for free, could become legal counsel for the governor, could become the first Black woman president of the Boston City Council. And now I'm running to become Attorney General for you, to fight for fundamental change and progress. Progress in economic opportunity, education, and protecting our kids. Affordable housing, investing in safer, more livable communities. Accountability, tackling public corruption and corporations that damage our environment. Public safety, reducing gun violence, and getting illegal guns off our streets. Reproductive rights, protecting the right to choose and access to reproductive health care. And greater equity, fighting for civil rights and justice for all. I'm Andrea Campbell, and I'll be your voice, your advocate, and your champion, from Boston to Springfield, from New Bedford to North Adams, to be an Attorney General for opportunity for all. Truly be an Attorney General for all of us, no matter who you are, where you come from, or where you live. Join us.
Supposed to have fun. We are the Massachusetts Democrats. We're supposed to be celebrating. Good afternoon, Massachusetts Democrats. It is so great to be with all of you here in Worcester. Thank you to the party for organizing this year's convention. Thank you to every one of my volunteers who collected signatures, made phone calls, showed up to the events. No one can do this work alone, and I am in awe of the dedication you have all demonstrated to fight for justice. And thank you to everyone who showed up in person, and of course those who are joining us virtually. Thank you for engaging in this process, for coming together and standing united as Massachusetts Democrats to fight for a more fair, just Commonwealth. Your commitment matters now more than ever. We are still railing from the murders in Buffalo, Uvalde, Tulsa, and so many other communities. And sadly, the cycle of violence in this country continues, including an uptick in hate crimes. We face a Supreme Court intent on turning back the clock on progress for our civil rights, our reproductive rights, our efforts to address the climate crisis, and of course, gun violence. Many families are worried about how they will survive and thrive post-COVID, and if the next generation will fare better than the last. And as we sit here, too many people across this country and in the Commonwealth, including even in this room, feel left out and left behind by our government, by our political leaders, and by our political process. What more needs to happen for leaders to do what's necessary to end these cycles of violence, poverty, and divisiveness. The sense of urgency is crystal clear to me. To end the cycle of violence, poverty, and divisiveness, we've got to unite, to tackle our toughest problems together. Together, we can bring about fundamental change and progress to the very systems that are holding us back. And we have an opportunity to build coalitions between communities of color and urban centers and poor rural communities, and different communities, of course, but are facing similar issues. We have an opportunity to meaningfully bring together communities of different cultures, different religions, different ethnicities, beliefs, genders, sexual orientations, and backgrounds. And as Attorney General, I'll seek to do just that. I will do everything in my power and in the office's power to make real progress and to protect us and to fight for us and to ensure Massachusetts continues to take the lead. 5 months ago, I can't believe it was 5 months ago. 5 months ago, I was so proud to announce my candidacy for Attorney General in Codman Square, near Mattapan, where I live with my husband, Matthew, my 2 beautiful boys, Alexander and Aiden. That same day, I traveled to Worcester and Springfield. And since then, I've traveled all across the state, from Lawrence to New Bedford, from Chelsea to Chicopee, Pittsfield to Gloucester, to listen to those doing the work in community, the type of work that makes us the greatest state in the nation, a state with such potential and promise. And I know it because I've lived it. My childhood was filled with incredible instability. When I was 8 months old, my mother died in a car accident going to visit my father, who's in prison. I didn't meet my father until I was 8 years old because he was incarcerated. And sadly, he too would die unexpectedly when I was 19 years old, a sophomore in college. My brothers and I bounced around. We lived with relatives, sometimes in the foster care system. We grew up poor and in public housing. But through my public school education, 5 schools to be exact, I was lucky to have a support system that provided me with the safe spaces to cope with that trauma, to learn and to grow. And because of that education, I was blessed to become the first in my family to go to college, the first in my family to go to law school, graduating from Princeton University and UCLA Law School. Yet the trauma continued. My brothers would sadly cycle in and out of the prison system, and Andre, my twin brother, would eventually pass away while in the custody of the Department of Correction as a pretrial detainee 10 years ago this year. I share my story freely and in detail because I truly believe it matters. Representation matters. My lived experience offers a distinct lens to many of the issues our residents are facing. It gives me the passion and the purpose to fight for those who have been left out and left behind. I've done it in different ways as an education lawyer, as general counsel at a regional planning agency, as an attorney for Governor Deval Patrick, and as the first Black woman Boston City Council president. I have spent my legal and elected career protecting and advocating for those who are let down by government. This work has and will always be about making sure the next generation does better than the last. And as I crisscross this state, similar themes are coming up. Stories and struggles that knit our communities together. We can give, indeed, the next generation everything they would need to thrive and prosper, because no one should have to go through any struggle alone. As Democrats, we can bring people together. We can make Massachusetts a leader, a true example for the rest of the country on what it looks like to push for fundamental change and progress. And that means progress in economic opportunity, providing every family access to a living wage, good benefits, tools to buy their home, to stay in their home, protecting our elders against predatory practices and scams, supporting small businesses, including those owned by immigrants and people of color, and viewing and treating our gateway cities as center cities and hubs for economic prosperity. It means progress in affordable housing, removing barriers to affordability so we can give families the critical building blocks they need for upward mobility and opportunity, and protecting tenants and homeowners alike. It means progress in education and protecting our kids and ensuring every child has access to a high-quality education while taking on discrimination and bullying in every school system across this state. It means progress in healthcare and creating safer, healthier communities, pushing for universal, high-quality, gender-affirming care in every single neighborhood and reducing cost. It means fighting for environmental justice and building greener communities. It means progress in public safety and criminal legal reform and prison reform, because everyone, no matter where you live, should feel safe and secure in your homes, small businesses, and neighborhoods. It means progress in mental health, addressing the high number of substance use disorder and the opioid crisis, not just for adults, but for young people too. And it means progress in eradicating, finally, racial disparities. We can and we should push for progress on all of these issues. And why is that? Because this office, the AG's office, so special, the AG's office, is more than just the chief law enforcement office. It has all the tools, the resources, the talent to push for fairness, greater opportunity, and greater equity. And I'm so proud in this race to have received support from people of all walks of life. And Senator, love you too, and Senator Markey and former Congressman Kennedy, and incredible partners like the Environmental League of Massachusetts Action Fund and Emily's List. And we're just getting started. We can bring people together. We can lift up their stories. We can make sure that they are heard, that they are seen, and that we are delivering progress for them and for you. Because if we do all of that, we will indeed ensure Massachusetts continues to lead the way. And I'm running for Massachusetts Attorney General to truly be an Attorney General for all of us, no matter who you are, where you come from, or where you live. I'm Andrea Campbell. I humbly ask for your support and your vote. Thank you for everything you do, Massachusetts Democrats. Thank you.